Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. Today is going to be a gold and silver update along with a bit of Bitcoin news. So I'd like to start off with this Bullion Vault datasheet, which as of today is representing a new yearly high in the UK pound for gold. Spot price is now at 1,085, which is higher than the peak in July. Now what's really nice to see, if you take it out to the 5-year view, you can really now start to see that we have come out of this bear market for the last 3 years and have done it in a very quick succession of time. So we're now fast approaching the highs of March 2013, and when you actually look at the peak of around 1100, we're only £50 shy of all-time highs in gold. Yet nothing has really happened collapsing wise in the system. It is all being held together with blue tack, sticky tape and huge amounts of quantitative easing. Yet gold is still managing to break out of that system due to the fear people have regarding these markets. And this is obviously prior to any EU breakup, prior to any US election issues. So this bodes very, very well for a serious reaction in gold revaluation when the aforementioned start to crumble. Now, as we were saying, during this period here, we were anticipating it to do a bull and flag move, which is a straight vertical move up with a consolidation and with a repeat of the initial move, which is a trading term for anticipated markets via chart reading. And that is exactly what it has done. And now we went through another consolidation period, and it's starting to rally and break out of that now. So it'll be quite interesting to see what happens, especially because we have the elections occurring very soon. And obviously we know if Donald Trump does get in, this is going to skyrocket the uncertainty in the markets and the adverse effect with the House of Cards collapsing internally in Washington DC. That'll be it. Gold will take off. Now let's just flip over to the silver and see what sort of level that's at. And amazingly enough, it hasn't matched gold's move in the last 30 days. So it has been heavily suppressed in comparison to the gold. It's still floating in this level here. So we can anticipate this double jump to occur in silver when the House of Cards starts coming down. And I'll anticipate that this will be having to move very soon, because many of the top guys will confirm that silver slightly lags gold's move. But it's the Achilles heel, so it's been suppressed for a reason, as to not send shockwaves into the metals markets. But somehow gold has slipped through that net, purely due to purchasings by the banks, by the hedge funds, and by the private investors. Because we know silver is such a small market cap, large moves into it will dry up entire inventory stock. So judging by gold's move reaching back to May's time, we should anticipate to see silver rise at least another £5 in the coming month during the election and onwards, which is obviously a 33% gain. And when you're referring to Cliff High's Webbot report, he is talking about air gaps in the move price, which would mean a move from say £15 to £20 could happen instantaneously, matching the move of obviously gold, possibly overnight. And we're talking about a jump like that, which obviously for gold at that time was in the region of a 17% jump in the space of a month. So we could see something similar happening in the silver. And obviously this is in UK pounds, so obviously we have had devaluations in the British pound, but I won't flip across all the currencies on this video. I just wanted to do a brief update as to what's happening. So we can see the 30-day move in gold has been 3.41% in UK pound terms, and for silver slightly behind at 2.9% gain. Now the current gold to silver ratio is floating around the 70.28 to 1 ratio, and if you're aware, back in 2011 during its peak it reached down to a 35 to 1 ratio. So during this next correction, estimates are expecting it to get at least to 10 to 1 ratio, meaning for every 1 ounce of gold you buy, you'll be able to trade it for 10 of silver. However, in today's term, you could buy 10 ounces of silver and trade that for 1 ounce of gold during the next rally. But it's not just a play on the conversion ratios, because during the rally of both metals, they will be appreciating in value at the same time. But that is exactly why silver holds a higher potential return due to the ratio differences and the added manipulation that is suppressing it at current time. So it's still a fantastic opportunity to be acquiring either metal, because we know that there is a current gold-backed currency in motion. And obviously history charts will show us that silver and gold always move in tandem, with silver outperforming gold when it's finally released from the gate and becomes a mainstream metal. Now moving on to Bitcoin, which is something I'm now going to be covering. I just want to show you in relative terms via US dollar, and this site is from bitcoinwisdom.com. You can see in the last 7 days it has risen in US dollar terms 9.46%, and over the last 30 days has increased 18.8% in value, which obviously compared to gold and silver markets, which are manipulated, Bitcoin is not. And this is obviously a large influx of the Chinese buyers absorbing the majority of the markets, but obviously is massively outperforming the gold and silver increase in value, which again reverts back to the cliff high Webbot reports claiming that Bitcoin will rise significantly up to the $1,000 mark, and which currently is at $726 per Bitcoin. Now when the Bitcoin reaches 1,000, it then reverts back down to $800 for a short consolidation period, during which time that's the trigger point for silver to rally. And that is when you'll quite likely see silver take its air gap up to £20 an ounce, or the equivalent of $30 an ounce. That's the air gap they're referring to in the reports. So obviously you can anticipate that could happen during an electional issue with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now currently Bitcoin in the UK stands at £592 per coin, and it has had quite a good rally this year. So following on again from the reports where Cliff actually told us benchmark figures where the price of Bitcoin would reach and never retrace back upon, that has all been complete hits and has held form as of to date. So the wise investor would actually take note of that information and be able to capitalize upon the trending rise between Bitcoin at $700 now up to $1,000. So if you believe his reports are of valuable information, then you might find it wise to stick some money into it, not only to ride up to 1,000, but to then sell out and rebuy back at the 800 consolidation phase, making a nice little bit of change in between that you might want to then stick into physical precious metals investments. So that's going to be my precious metals and Bitcoins update as of the 2nd of November 2016. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.